It's the Detroit Pistons taking on the Golden State Warriors. And Doug Collins, it's our first look at the newest Detroit Piston, Allen Iverson.
Well, Kevin, I think right now the Detroit Pistons are still adjusting to the speed at which he plays. So used to Chauncey Billups with that rhythmic approach to playing in that backcourt. They're such a rhythm team, and now his speed has come into this lineup, and they're adjusting. And really the guy who's adjusting the most is Rip Hamilton. He's getting the same shots, just playing a little bit too fast of a pace right now. I expect Rip to slow down and have a good game tonight, but should be fun to watch. He's a fabulous leader. Brought him in on a 10-day contract when I was in Detroit. And in about a 2-week period of time, he became the leader of the team.
State Warriors beat Minnesota here Tuesday in overtime. And so here we go with Corey Maggette watching Rasheed Wallace, and the shot clock is at 7. So far, Iverson in this game has not attempted a shot and draws the defensive Watson for 2.
I think the one thing about the Detroit Pistons is, they've not been a great running team in the past. They here early in the year, it's controlling dribble penetration and defending pick and roll.
Watson defending Iverson, who hits another shot. And that's the second in a row for AI, with Watson picking up the foul. Just think of the incredible challenge for this young C.J. Watson to go up against one of the great scorers in the history of the NBA, Allen Iverson.
Well, he can get his shot anytime, and he's got this ability to get a little bit of a contact. He fades back to create space so he can shoot the ball over a bigger player. Now, one of the things you're going to see with the Pistons also, too, Allen Iverson's always been one of the best guys in the league at getting fouled. The Detroit Pistons the other night against Sacramento took 36 free throws, made 30 of them. So
offensive switch knocked away by Rasheed. Here comes Prince, who has not taken a shot tonight. Iverson inside on Azubuike.
That's the Detroit Pistons now.
Close it on a 7-2 run. Pistons led early 2-zip. Golden State built their lead as large as 7. Second quarter awaits as Golden State leads 23-21 on TNT.
His ability to make shots as a big man on the perimeter.
Iverson picked up by Watson. And AI just blows right by him. Iverson now with a Piston high 9. Jackson. And a follow is on him. Looking for Biedrins, knocked away. 3-on-2. It's AI by Watson, who reaches and lunges and fouls. Ball.
So you kept him occupied where he couldn't run around and disrupt your offense. And you can see second points active. Shaq is number 1 active. He just passed. Congratulations to Shaq. He passed John Havlicek last night. 10th all-time now for Shaquille O'Neal in scoring in the NBA shooting free throws.
That's a good point. Here is Watson watching the dancing Iverson. Look at that. Boy, he is there a harder player, maybe Shaq aside, is there a harder player to officiate than Allen Iverson?
Well, no, because he creates contact on every play. He puts the onus on the official to blow the whistle. That time they called the offensive foul, but what they were trying to run is an isolation at the top of the floor. They cleared out the side. They only had a guy in the corner, the Pistons, and C.J. Watson did a great job. He played up on Allen Iverson's right hand, and he was not going to let him turn the corner. He was going to push him back to where there was help on the other side of the floor, but didn't need it.
After this break, we'll go back to our studios in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, and Charles Barkley with AT&T Halftime Report.
To defend that play, and Biedrins rolled right down the middle and scored. And then Detroit trying to change their personality here a little bit and get some runouts. Seen Max Seal with a score, and Allen Iverson's beautiful touch pass to Amir Johnson. So they had 7 fast break points.
Watson was watching Wallace. Shot clock is down to 4. AI for 3, and he parries it from outside. Allen Iverson, a career 31% three-point shooter. And Iverson, as CJ was over there doubling, and that leaves open a 3. That's the second triple pumped in by Iverson in the second half. Take a look at Allen Iverson. He'll make more than $20 million this season, but his contract expires at the end of the year. A list of his accomplishments. So in essence, Doug, what Joe Dumars and Michael Curry are doing is they're kind of test driving Iverson to see if there's anything in the future between him and them. At the same time, they get some star power for the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they felt like they needed a star in the playoffs. They've got eliminated by stars. Seems to add up.
Watson watching Iverson. AI blows by him. Allen Iverson with 20. That's what he's averaging this season. the lack of star power. Now they've got it, and Joe Dumars has reeled in Allen Iverson, a 9-time All-Star, an MVP, 4-time scoring champion. They've got it in AI.
Yeah, I think he was hoping that he would bring that edge, that that guy that could go on the road and throw up a 40-point night for you in a very hostile environment. The things we've seen him do throughout his career down the lane allowed him to get inside for the easy layup.
Iverson to Hamilton, and Azubuike kind of lost his footing inside the paint. Rebound for Wallace. Here is Iverson the other way. Wide open is Hamilton. Maggette the late close, and Rip Hamilton beginning to pick up some momentum, and here's that offense of the Pistons. The defensive play of Nelson did a good job, and the defensive play of Iverson does right here. There is a follow crashing into Nelson. Counted for 2 and a foul. And the Pistons are on top by a point, under 3 to play here in the third, and on top for the first time since early in the game.
Remember, I talked about the third quarters for the Golden State Warriors. They've had struggles all year long. And once again, the Pistons forcing a turnover, forcing the turnovers.
Here comes a Flalo. Iverson, a Flalo defending is Nelson. Right in it goes. That is a 12-0 run.
All these young players here early in the season.
And Detroit's help has been remarkable. Here and Brandon Wright, newly instated. Allen Iverson, what a play. Counted for 2. He's had a 12-point third quarter, and he's authored a 22-point game. In this, his 4th game as a Piston. The foul goes on Brandon Wright. He's assessed his first. Look at this, fending off with one arm and a right-hand toss to the deuce.
You think about all the points this guy has scored in his career. He's 20th on the list. Going in tonight, he had 23,108.
Rebound by Morrow. Iverson's got those quick hands. That's rejected inside Prince on the Morrow shot and picked up by AI. Weaving through traffic. What great rhythm he's had in this third quarter. 23 points for the game. Scooping it to Wallace. By right. What a pass by AI. Iverson comes up with his 6th assist. And the Pistons lead again by 7.
You got to marvel at his energy. Allen Iverson, this guy is electric. I mean, he just absolutely is nonstop. Imagine the amount of calories this guy burns in a game. I mean,
think about opposing guards guarding both Hamilton and Allen Iverson. Think of the movement of those 2 guys per game. Here's a Jackson shot over a Flalo and a Prince rebound.
Well, Allen Iverson looked like he really got in the flow, too, in the late part of the third quarter. He's fun to watch, but as opposing coach, how do you stop him here in the 4th?
Well, we're playing tendencies, and we're switching certain screening roles, but he's difficult. Doesn't matter, who's guarding him, where it is on the floor. He's always a great threat.
Wallace claims the rebound inside. There he snares number 8 with his 11 points. A foul from Iverson into Biedrins and counted for 2 and a foul. And a follow who cranes his way inside for the deuce will be at the free throw line.
Well, his calling card really is his defense, but we've seen him out twice out on the break where he goes strong. Early in the game, it was DeMarcus Nelson that took the hit against him, and the 3-point play this time, he takes the hit.
Iverson has not scored in the 4th quarter after putting in 13 in the third. A 3 by Wallace. Watson late with the closeout. That's a 3, a triple.
Careless play. He was going to throw the ball to Biedrins, and Allen Iverson once again started to sprint into the passing lane, and he stepped over the line. These are young things. These are things you talk about all the time. Pay attention to detail. He got sloppy, and it cost his team a possession here with 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Watch what happens. Now watch Allen Iverson. He's going to run up, and he steps over the line. And those are the kind of plays that get you beat.
Jackson wants Iverson. Screen by Prince. Wallace for 3 over Watson. Again! Rasheed Wallace is knocked down 2 consecutive triples.
On Corey Maggette, but this is what Rasheed Wallace does. He'll break your heart if you're the opponent. He steps out, he lines it up. This was the first one he knocked down. Came back the next time, knocked down another 3. You talked about his prowess out there from behind that 3-point line. And this is exactly what he does. Hits big shots at the right time for the Detroit Pistons.
There's Iverson, still able to hit and draws the foul. Allen Iverson from downtown. Down to 40 seconds. Iverson with the step. There's Iverson, yes. And that's a playoff career high. 55 points for Iverson. And that helped the Philadelphia 76ers advance to the Eastern Conference semifinals, where they would lose to the Pistons. The great voice of our Hall of Fame broadcaster, Marv Albert. Watson over Hamilton. Missed the three. Rebound by Prince, who had a career night rebounding. That is his 16th rebound. He had 10 points. He had the double-double, a double-double for Wallace, who was terrific tonight. 19 points and 11 rebounds, 24 from Hamilton, and 23 from Iverson. Iverson had 13 in the third and was scoreless in the fourth. Steven Jackson had 17, along with Biedrins, who had 19 rebounds and 17 from Watson. So the Pistons will go to 6-2 with the Lakers awaiting in Los Angeles at the Staples Center, a 4-1 road record by the Detroit Pistons. But the reason we were here tonight was because of Allen Iverson, first time in a Pistons uniform on national TV. Let's send it over to Craig Sager.
Well, yeah, that's now 2 games in a row you've won now that you've been with the Pistons. What's different? How have you adjusted? How have they adjusted to you?
I think the chemistry is a little bit better than it was. It was a tough start, being that I had to come in here and didn't know too many of the sets on both ends of the floor. But we have a chance to get some practices, some shoot-arounds, a couple games, and we're finally getting some rhythm.
Later tonight, we'll see an interview that John Thompson did with you and Rasheed Wallace. You played against Rasheed for many years. Tonight, he probably turned the game around with those 2 big threes. What's it like to have him as your teammate?
I mean, it's good. You know, just having him emotionally, you know, he's always into the game. You know, he has a lot of passion for the game. He wants to win so bad, and he's mentally tough, you know, and he can spread the floor out. It makes it a lot easier on me. Guys can pack in and give him that shot, and it showed, you know, later in the game where he got those 2 threes.
When you beat Sacramento and beat Golden State, is that really a good barometer of this team, or we have a better knowledge of how good you're going to be when you play the Lakers tomorrow?
You know what? A win is a win. You know, every team is an NBA team and has, you know, players on that team that can, you know, contribute in the game and win a basketball game. So, you know, we never underestimate anybody. We feel we got to get better, and we're going to get better, but we'd rather win the games than lose them.
Thanks a lot. We'll hear more from AI and Rasheed Wallace with Coach John Thompson later on Inside the NBA, but now back to Kevin.
Iverson had 23 tonight. He had 30 a couple nights ago against Sacramento. Once again, the final score, the Pistons take care of the Golden State Warriors 107-102. Coming up next, the award-winning Inside the NBA, and Coach John Thompson will talk with AI and Rasheed Wallace. For Craig Sager and Doug Collins, Kevin Harlan saying good night from the Bay Area. Good one here tonight with Allen Iverson in his 4th game with the Detroit Pistons, beating Golden State by 5. Right now, let's take you to Ernie Johnson in our TNT studios.